What's up, everyone? This is All Destroyer 229, and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 4. Last time, we took a look at the Midnight Channel, and there was a vivid image. A teenage boy was there on the Midnight Channel saying, "Try and catch me." We then went on a bit of an investigation, and it seems like the more that we look at it, the more and more likely that this boy is the killer. We had to go on quite the goose chase to find out any info about him, but we have a name, Mitsuo Kubo. And now all we have to do is give this intel to Rise. In this episode, we are going to do just that. We are primarily going to spend our time in the TV world. But it is the evening, so we do have to get through tonight before we get to it. So what are we going to be doing tonight? Well, Nanako's in frame, so why don't we go and talk to her?
Well...
Nanako? Now, this is the primary reason why we have not hung out with Nanako so much until now. This is another expression check, and this one requires max expression. This is why we had to spend so much time recently reading books and doing that little bit of translating. Because this is what it all comes down to. Max expression is required to continue on here. And now we have it, so now we can continue in Nanako's social link. Nanako, what's wrong? I can tell that there's something bothering you. Don't worry, Nanako. I swear I won't tell Dojima. What is it? Parent survey regarding scheduling of parent-teacher interviews. Well, we won't know if we don't ask him, and I'll ask him with you, if you're scared. Really? Well, looks like we were able to help out Nanako with this one. I mean, sometimes simple things can have quite a huge weight, especially when seen through the eyes of a child. I mean, considering Dojima's habits, you know, I'm not surprised Nanako kind of feels a little bit hesitant to ask him about something like this. But hey, we're there with her. So yeah, whenever she's ready to ask Dojima, We'll be right there alongside Nanako to give her support. I'm sure he will, Nanako. I did when I was your age, yeah.
Good night.
Night, Nanako. And then it moves on to Sunday. Alright, well, we've still got plenty of time. But we shouldn't delay too much. Though we will delay for a little bit, because today is Sunday, and that of course means... time for Tanaka's! So what's on Tanaka's amazing commodities today? Manaki Neko. Okay. I want to say that boosts luck. And 2 giant candy. Not exactly a great item. What's the other thing? Smart bombs. And supersonics. Okay. We're delving into Star Fox and Sonic the Hedgehog, it seems. Okay, well, actually, smart bombs are actually somewhat helpful in one very particular circumstance. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. Besides, it doesn't hurt to get some combat items, because those tend to be a little bit more random. Actually, speaking of accessories, I never actually showed what Nanako's gift does. So the paper armband, like I mentioned before, is only equipable to our character. It doesn't appear for anyone else. It's not gender locked or anything. It's specifically character locked to us. So the paper armband increases all stats by 5. All of our stats, strength, magic, endurance, agility, and luck, those all go up by 5. Normally, I'm not the biggest fan of just straight up stat boosting items, but if it's enough, and especially if it's for multiple stats, I tend to be a little bit more lenient on that. And pretty much most, if not all, of Nanako's gifts to you for acing exams are very much worth it. They are very helpful items. So you should always try to ace exams whenever possible, just for that alone. But remember, you have to get top of your class in order to actually be able to get the gift from Nanako. If you get in the top 10, then you'll just get stuff from Dojima. But you have to absolutely ace the exam in order to get something from Nanako. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and get some bait first. And then we head on over to Jeunesse. We have all the intel we need, so we should just gather everyone together and enter the TV world. So let's go. I mean, it is summer. Alright, well, let's go ahead and confirm the situation first. true. It'd be way too easy just to let him stay there and die. But then we won't learn anything. We won't know how or why. Like, specifically, if it is the exact same methods we use to enter the TV world. Then there's all the stuff dealing with the Midnight Channel, motives, why he targeted people that were on TV. There's just so much that we need to find out. Well, anyway, if we check the weather report, it'll still be pretty good for a while. There'll be some rain on the 6th. I don't think that's the deadline, though. That may just be a random day of rain. Alright, thanks, Rise. At any rate, we have all the info we need. Let's enter the TV world.
Let's go then.
This is the picture that I found.
That's him, all right. It's definitely the guy on the Midnight Channel. It's settled then. He is the killer. And he's in here now.
This guy came to our shop before.
What?
Was he spying on me? Oh my god, I really was being targeted.
Damn it! Freaking punk!
Hey, I've seen him before too. Oh, now I remember. Yukiko, it's that one guy.
That one guy?
Back in April, remember? He suddenly came and started hitting on you.
Oh, him! The dude who got served by Yukiko in front of the school.
Wasn't that on my first day when I met you guys?
Man, Chie, how'd you remember something like that?
Well, that was the first time he talked to her, but I remember he was always following her around.
Sorry, who are we talking about?
The dude who came right up to you at the school gates and called you Yuki?
Oh. Really?
Oh my gosh, Yukiko.
Wait, did he kidnap Yukiko to get back at her for rejecting him?
I didn't really reject him.
You kinda did.
He came up to me while I was busy working and asked, "Don't the biker gangs bother you?" Just going on and on about how biker gangs can't do anything unless they're in a pack and stuff. He seemed to be the type who just keeps talking whether you like it or not, if that makes sense. I usually treat those people politely so they don't get offended, but I was so tired that I kinda ignored him. Was that why I was kidnapped?
Huh? Wait, I'm not a biker. Ugh, that damn special report. So that's why I got dragged into this.
You know, I heard he'd been saying stuff about that announcer's affair too. Lots of muttering about how women who cheat on their husbands should be executed.
Sounds like it's all coming together. Well, it's time for a showdown. Can you tell where this Mitsuo guy's at?
I'll give it a try. Just a sec. Yeah, I found him. He's that way.
All right, let's go. We're so close to the killer, we can't lose him now. What is this? Some kind of game?
Well, he did taunt us, saying try and catch me. I guess he thinks of all this as a game.
Oh, this pisses me off! I hereby sentence him to 100 kicks to the face. Let's go!
You know, I have to comment on this. Wow, this is really old school.
Gotta admit, all guys love games.
And all girls love Teddy.
Shut up, Teddy. Alright, so now we found him within an 8-bit dungeon come to life. Well, at the very least, we know where he's at, so that's a start. And welcome to Void Quest, the location of Mitsuo. Now, just like before, we actually aren't going to be delving into the dungeon quite yet. We do have plenty of quests and stuff that we need to deal with, and we will be doing that first thing. So, we are just going to go ahead and assemble our party together. So we'll bring along Yosuke, Kanji, and instead of Yukiko, we are going to bring along Teddy. So yeah, Teddy is now new to the party, so I would like to show him off, even though we really aren't going to be using him all that much. Now, we need to head on over to Risei's dungeon because quests and optional boss. But this will at least give me an opportunity to talk about Teddy a little bit. Let's actually get into the dungeon first before we mess with Teddy's equipment and whatnot. Will do. Alright, so first things first, let's go ahead and take a look at Teddy's equipment. Teddy's weapon of choice are claws. So, any sort of claw-based weapon is going to be what Teddy is going to be using. It's short range, it's melee. It's not really anything we haven't really seen before. Of course, since Teddy is male, he has access to all the different male-exclusive armor. So we're just going to go and give him the Desperate Plate, since we don't have anything else. And in terms of accessories, let's see. Actually, giving him the boost to magic might not be a bad thing at the moment. So, Teddy, like I mentioned before, the different alternate party members kind of go as substitutes for just a standard party with Yosuke, Chie, and Yukiko. And Teddy is essentially the replacement for Yukiko. If there was any character that I would say to always have in your party no matter what, I would say that you should always have either Yukiko or Teddy, because Teddy is sort of your alternate dedicated healer. Teddy gets access to a ton of healing spells. In fact, if we take a look at his persona, you can see that it already has Mediarama. So it already has a higher healing spell than Yukiko right off the bat. Now, Teddy has a little bit of a different focus than Yukiko. Even though Teddy does a great job at recovering HP, that's not all he can do. Ooh, Arcana chance. What do we get? The sun. Sure. I've always got a kick out of the sun. So while Teddy has access to normal healing spells, he also has a different focus in terms of, well, status recovery. Yukiko has very limited options when it comes to recovering status ailments. In fact, she only has 2. Mepatra and Salvation. However, Teddy has access to a few different ways of recovering different status ailments. He already has Energy Shower, which recovers enervation and things like that, but he also eventually gets access to Amrita, which cures all status ailments aside from being knocked down or being dead without recovering HP. And he gets that far sooner than Yukiko could get Salvation.
I'm pretty good, aren't I?
I mean, you did just kind of bash him with a claw. Now, status ailments isn't the only thing that Teddy is really good for. He also has access— wow, we're getting a lot of chest keys. He also has access to a couple well, I say boosting skills, but they're just like Matarukaja and Marakukaja. So he can boost up our stats in battle, which is also something that Yukiko can't do. He overall learns his skills a little bit later than Yukiko, at least in terms of equivalency. Not all of them, but a fair amount. And he does have that little disadvantage of not having a single target healing item or healing spell for quite some time. Alright, Kanji! Now, if it seems weird why I'm not actually showing Teddy in battle, I'm kind of waiting for an enemy that's weak to ice, to be honest. Which is another difference between Teddy and Yukiko. Teddy has access to different ice spells. And that's not where I can actually see his weaknesses and whatnot. So he is primarily an ice persona user who is also weak to electricity. And Teddy is going to be your dedicated ice user, since Chie can do a good job for what she can in terms of ice spells, but Teddy far trumps her in terms of potency with magic. Why not? We can show Teddy off in this fight anyway. So let's go ahead and attack you. Oh, good job, Yosuke! Alright, well,
Damn, it's not going down.
hit him, and we can just see Teddy's different skills right here. So yeah, so Energy Shower will be able to cure enervation and exhaustion, and like I mentioned before, he will eventually get access to Amrita, which cures all status ailments, which is something Yukiko doesn't get until she gets Salvation, which is hands down the best healing spell in the game. Alright, and we get Andra. All Andra all the time. So you might be wondering, well, if he can do Yukiko's job and he has a lot more skills available to him than Yukiko, why would you not pick him over Yukiko? And that more deals with effectiveness. Yukiko does a lot better job at what she does simply because her magic stat far trumps Teddy's. Teddy's stats are overall pretty balanced, with him having a bit of a deficiency in luck. But in terms of like his overall attack power, I mean, it's average and a bit more balanced, but does not compare with Yukiko. So Yukiko's healing spells are a lot more effective until you get to just heal all HP, where it doesn't even matter. But at least in terms of attacking power, Yukiko is a lot more effective than Teddy is. Damn it, Teddy! Oh, Arcana-chan, what do we get? How about no? In addition, while Yukiko's attacks are overall a lot more powerful, you also have to contend with social links and the different abilities that the social links can give you. Granted, even though with Kanji just has a natural disadvantage when you immediately get him, you can very easily make up for it if you decide to spend a lot of time with Kanji. And you can't do that with Teddy. Teddy's social link progresses naturally as you go through the game. It's a plot-related social link. So the different skills that he gets are tied to how far along you are in the story. So unless you're going near the end of the game where, I mean, everyone's going to have maxed out social link stats anyway, you are starting out and will continue to have a huge disadvantage when it comes to the different abilities your party members get. Whatever. I have naturally recovering SP, so it's not the end of the world. So, that's particularly, at least in terms of combat capabilities, why you would choose Yukiko instead of Teddy. While Teddy has a lot more options available to him, Yukiko is just a lot better at what she can do. Although, Teddy can just do the same job if necessary. Now, out of all the characters that I've ever put in a party, like a main party, Teddy is the only one that I have never put as part of my main party. Why? Because I don't think it's really necessary to have 2 healers. 3 if you count our character.
Just say the word and it's bear time!
Okay, I will admit some of Teddy's all-out attack quotes are just great. So, there's also that. Down they go. Good job, team. Okay, and... Alright, sure, I'll take High Pixie. Why not? Although I don't particularly... Well, you know what? I'll get rid of Andra. Ooh, Arcana Chance. Please let it not be death. Hierophant. Okay, much better. Something that's actually helpful. Except when it's reversed. Great. Now, like I was saying before, I mean, part of the reason is the fact that I don't see it really necessary having potentially 2 healers. Even though I'm a huge fan of just being a healer and just having everyone at good HP. Just having 2 characters that do literally the exact same thing, although one being slightly more effective and the other having slightly different capabilities. Not exactly the greatest thing in the world. Also, personal bias. I personally don't like Teddy. I will just admit that straight out. Out of all the cast in Persona 4, Teddy is by far my least favorite character. So, I kinda don't really want him on my team.
This is my chance! How about it?
Sure, I actually don't know what Teddy's follow-up attack is. Let's find out.
Here I go! Oh yeah!
Enemy defeated. Go for
Basically Yosuke's. Got it. I mean, there's a lot about Teddy that leaves a lot to be desired. And, I mean, part of the reason is the fact that I really don't like womanizing characters. And that's Teddy in a nutshell. I mean, granted, there is a lot more to him than just being a womanizing bear, but that's still a pretty big part of his character, and that's just not something I really like. And there's not really too much else about him, really. I mean, he does play a very substantial role in the plot, but then again, so does everyone else in our party in one way or another. So, I mean, while Teddy is definitely useful, I mean, I just prefer Yukiko. I would much rather have someone who is really good at their job as opposed to someone who has slightly more capabilities. I mean, heck, like, I would normally have Chie in my party because Chie is really good at what she does. But I really wanted to show Kanji because I really like Kanji. I would like to find an enemy that's weak to ice, though. I mean, I think I've talked enough about Teddy that I think we're good. Although I would like to just show him a little bit more in combat. You know what? I'll show this fight either way. Because I would like to actually show off him summoning his persona. Kind of hard to do that when, you know, there's not an enemy that's weak to ice and, well, he also doesn't have any physical skills to summon his persona that way. There is a little bit of a difference in Teddy's skills in Golden, though. I don't need to go for shuffle time. In Golden, Teddy also gets access to quite a few physical skills as well, which is not something that he has in this game, and he doesn't sacrifice anything for it. Unlike Chie, who just loses her other ice skills, in which whatever capabilities she had with ice is just gone in Golden, Teddy doesn't lose anything by gaining physical skills. It more so just differentiates him more from Yukiko, which, I mean, plays into what he is and what he's capable of, which, I mean, is interesting. But he doesn't have any physical skills to speak of in the original game, which is what we're playing. Please be weak to ice! Actually, you might be. Totally are! Okay! And you're also enemies I need to kill anyway.
Damn, it's not going down.
Ow. Ow. Alright, well this will be simple enough. Teddy, do your thing! I was kind of hoping you would actually do your pose. Damn it, Teddy! You can't do anything right!
That was its weak spot.
It's time to get wild.
Alright. At the very least, Teddy does make up for it with his all-out attack quotes. They are pretty great. And they're not all annoying bear puns. Still, I would like to at least show him actually summoning his persona with the cutout. If we can do that, then I would be content to just head back and grab Yukiko. So, if I can actually fight more of those idols, that'd be great! You know, it might be that Teddy's doing this on purpose, so that way he gets more screen time. That is entirely possible. This is Teddy we're talking about here. If you could turn around because you guys are actually medium-sized shadows. There we go! Huh, okay, I guess we never fought these enemies. The enslaved beast. Okay, are you perhaps weak to fire? You are weak to fire!
Enemy down. Nice. Good one.
Awesome!
You hit the enemy.
Me, it's my turn.
Go for it, Teddy!
Enemy down.
It's time to get wild.
I mean, at the very least, we're seeing his all-out attack quotes, which is fine. I mean, partially, I just need to find enemies that are weak to ice, which is a little problematic. But, I mean, I guess we've seen enough of, like, the cut-in animations that you can basically guess what Teddy's looks like and just how he summons his persona. So, I guess I'll just continue exploring around this floor, and then I'll switch out Teddy for Yukiko. Perhaps you're weak to— oh no! Alright, Teddy, I'm giving you to the rest of this floor to show off your cut-in. If not, then, well, tough. how much more do we have? Well, we haven't reached the stairs yet. Alright, well, there is actually more that I want to talk about, but we are starting to run a little bit low on time, so let's maybe get to the end of this floor, and then we can go and, well, actually, I've been cutting out most fights, so... Damn it, Teddy, you had a perfect opportunity. Oh, okay, good. Reverse Hierophant's gone. And this is probably the stairs. Yep, alright, Teddy, you had your chance in that fight, and you squandered it. Good job. Alright, well, thankfully I've got plenty of go-homes, so let's go ahead and use one of these. Granted, one of Teddy's other skills I forgot to mention is Traesto. So, if you have him in your party, then you don't even need go-homes. So, yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch out Yukiko with Teddy. I mean, yeah, once again, so whenever you go to a dungeon that isn't required, everyone's like, why are we here? Oh well, whatever. I think we're probably good to call it? I mean, I feel a little bad because, I mean, I've been skipping out on most of the battles that we've come across. But I don't feel like it really warrants continuing onward. So I think instead what I'll do is head into the Velvet Room and see if there are any new personas I can fuse. I haven't gained any levels, but maybe with the different personas that I have, I might be able to do something. Oh my. Well, it's just Atanta and Gadon, so I'll go ahead and register these two. And we'll see what we can do in terms of fusions. Now, is there anything in the fusion forecast for today? There is nothing in the fusion forecast. Ah, man. Any fusions tomorrow gets bonus social link experience. Well, that sucks. Oh, well, whatever. I'll see what I can make, and I'll show it to you guys if I make anything. Okay, realistically, this is just to fill out the compendium. So we are fusing away Hi Pixie and Nikimitama in order to fuse Unicorn. I mean, we haven't made this persona yet, so I would like to fill out the compendium. Especially if it's from two personas that I get from Shuffle Time anyway. Not the best unicorn I've ever made, but whatever. It should still work. It at least learns Dekunda, which is nice, I guess. Although Yosuke has the exact same thing. And to the Fury! Okay, that's actually a really nice skill. That will allow us to escape from battles whenever... if they are escapable. So not exactly a bad skill to have. Next is Recarm, but that's quite the experience gap. May or may not be able to get that. This will work out quite nicely. So we are fusing away Queen Mab, Power, and Mithra in order to fuse Undyne. A good electric and ice user, plus just keeping the Invigorate train going. Undyne should be a pretty decent persona for us. Alright. And she learns Mabufala. Awesome. Ooh, next is Mediarama. That will be nice. Alright, well, not too much in the fusion department, but at the very least I got a new, well, more helpful persona. I would buy back Lamia and Titania, but honestly, I think we're probably good just holding on to what we've got and maybe just try to get some more personas via Shuffle Time. I mean, if I am just starting to get a little bit overwhelmed, I can get those two back. But at any rate, we're gonna go ahead and call it a day here. So, next time on Let's Play Persona 4, we continue to go through the TV world. We still need to reach the end of Risei's dungeon a second time if we're going to face off against that optional boss. But once we're done with that, it's off to Void Quest. So until next time, everyone, take care.